Hi, and welcome to JD's Longbox. I'm JD, and the hero of the month is Superman. What can I say about Superman that hasn't already been said? Well, instead of talking about what Superman means to comics or literature or to pop culture, I thought I should talk about what Superman means to me. I don't remember exactly when I became aware of Superman. By the time I was born, he'd already been a part of the collective consciousness for more than a generation, and the phrase, faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, was heard frequently. But by the time I was about 6, I'd watched Super Friends and Superman the movie, and from that point on, Superman was my favorite superhero. To a 6-year-old, Superman is a power fantasy. He's the strongest, the fastest, he's bulletproof, he can shoot heat vision, and of course, he can fly. Above all else, he's a good guy. He always does the right thing. He stands for truth, justice, and the American way. More cynical writers have tried to move away from this, but in the 1970s and 80s, it was very common to see Superman with an American flag, and Superman's ideals have always represented the best of what it means to be American: courage, hope, and a commitment to help others. One time when I was probably about 7, I was disappointed that I didn't have a Superman t-shirt. So I drew the S logo on paper and taped it to my shirt. Then I wore a warm-up sweatshirt over it so I could pop the snaps open and reveal the S shield on my chest. As the years went on, I loved watching the Superboy TV series, and I watched the animated Ruby Spears series and Superman the Animated series that came out in the 90s. By the time I was a teenager and really got into comics, where else would I start but with Superman? I came in about 1994, right after the death of Superman. So instead of finding the Man of Steel himself, the comics were filled with 4 new Supermen. Each one presented an alternative to the Superman that we all knew and loved. And while each one was interesting in their own way, they were meant to remind us of what made the real Superman so special. So when he finally returned, it wasn't just the triumphant comeback that I've been waiting for, it was the moment that proved why Superman is, and always will be, the greatest hero of them all. This was also the time that I learned a mantra that, while attributed to another superhero, holds just as true for Superman, and that's, with great power comes great responsibility. While I reached adulthood, I slowly learned to appreciate that while Superman holds immense power, he doesn't flaunt it or use it recklessly. It's his temperance to hold that power back that truly defines him as a hero. It's easy for us to imagine what we would do if we had his abilities. We might want to use heat vision to melt someone's car if they cut us off in traffic. Or punch some jerk so hard he's turned to vapor, but Superman doesn't do that, ever. He doesn't let anger, frustration, or ego get in the way of doing what's right. He's someone who goes out of his way to help people, not because he has to, but because he wants to. Superman has remained someone for me to look up to, either as a kid looking to the sky for a man that can fly and protect us all, or as an adult being reminded how we should treat others, with empathy, humility, and respect. So now it's your turn. What does Superman mean to you? Leave a comment down below, and be sure to check out the rest of my Superman videos. You can find them all on my Superman playlist. Until next time, I'm JD, and this box is closed.